Hey guys, question for you. Do you make most of your decisions with your heart or with your brain? That's today's topic. So if you guys have never been to the channel, what I like to do is just inspire the world in 5 main areas of life, which are mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and socially. Because I truly believe that if we all had a holistic yin-yang balance of each one of those areas in life, we'll be able to abolish hunger, famine, slavery, have more health and wealth together, and live in world peace on this planet as a holistic human unit. So if you guys believe in similar messages, go ahead and give me some feedback, and welcome to Planet Green Zen. So again, do you guys make most of your decisions with your heart or with your brain? Now, if you guys are a little confused on what that means, if you make decisions with your brain, that's more where logic is, where you have to be able to maybe have a scientific explanation for things, or again, you have to maybe write it down on paper and have like a formula to form it, and you have to have everything organized and laid out that you know what the outcome is, typically in that type of format. Now, if you make decisions with your heart, that's more of where your intuition lies, where you have a gut feeling with things, where you just feel that something is right, even though you may not be able to explain it, but you're being guided to that type of answer or that outcome. And those are, generally speaking, you can also Google search, heart versus the brain decisions and get a little more explanation or a different explanation if you like. But generally speaking, just keep it very simple. Brain is logic, heart is more intuition and gut feeling of things. So most people, again, when they make decisions, it's more based on the brain, to where if something doesn't logically make sense, or if they were not taught how to see things from a different perspective, that's where the brain kicks in, because it's more of that defense mechanism from our prehistoric ages when we were Neanderthals and things like that. We know fight or flight type situation, fight for our meals. And then people who typically make decisions with their heart are ones who are typically guided spiritually and from the universe and things like that, where the law of attraction works. With people who think with the brain thinks that's not real, think there's a different explanation for it, and they just don't believe in the law of attraction or the power of the universe or anything like that, to where you can write down affirmations and actually materialize the things you really want in life. So people with brain says that's stupid, like there's no proof of that, there's no physical, if you can't see it, it's not real, it doesn't exist. But a lot of times people with the heart, they know that things like that are real, that they're being guided by God or the universe, spirits, and all that infinite intelligence, to where it pours down and souls into you, and that's how you can manifest things that you want. So again, those are like the two different sides. There's not, a right or wrong answer, just based on your personal preference. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' feedback. Do you make decisions more with your heart or with your brain? And what examples do you have where, let's say if you made a decision with your heart, maybe you were thinking logically with your brain at first, but then something just kind of inside you told you to go a different route, and it didn't make sense, but then you decided to listen, and it was actually right. So I would love to hear those different feedback situations in the comments below. So again, guys, purpose of making this video is just to kind of get you to think outside of the box and to think differently, and to actually challenge what you were taught by our society. Because again, when you start to go down that rabbit hole, it gets, honestly, kind of gets depressing, because when you start to find out so much stuff, it's like, wow, you just wish people were more awake to this information that's pretty much in our faces, but we're taught to kind of look past. It's like saying there's a purple elephant in the room, that saying, but then you're taught that it doesn't exist or it doesn't real, and you're taught to actually look past it, even though it's right in front of your eyes, and you have someone that actually does see it, like, look, the purple elephant is right there, just look in front of you, and they're like, no, it's not, there's nothing there, but you see it, but you're taught to kind of look past it or see through it, to where something that's actually there is not there. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And you guys may be thinking, well, what do you use, Greg? Are you more of a heart or brain person? And again, I guess it depends on the situation, where I do use logic when it comes to me, I guess I could say common sense type things, to where, like, hey, if you, I don't know, let's say if you're driving and there's a shortcut if you turn right, but you decide to keep going straight, we have to go all the way around and come back this way. To me, that's more of a logical thing, like a brain, but hey, you should have turned right because X, Y, Z, these are all pointing to that answer, and you can see it. But then I do also make decisions with, I guess you say, the heart, to where it's more spiritual and universal and God-based, to where I'm taking a leap of faith and I'm being guided, to where I didn't do a ton of research per se, in the sense of logic and have to do a mathematical formula to come to an answer. I just said, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm gonna go with that, because I know I'm being guided by the universe. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and would love let me know if you make decisions more with your heart or your brain. I would love to hear that. So I do want to leave you guys with a quote for today. Don't worry, I didn't forget about that. It's going to be typically either I start with a quote and make it a quote video, or I may end with a quote if it's a different topic. This quote is actually by Steve Jobs. And he says, "The only way to do great work is to do what you love. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you will know when you find it." That's awesome. And again, what do you guys think that means? I'll go ahead and repeat it again. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you will know when you find it. So, because again, a lot of people just accept things and just take jobs because it pays the most, or they just need to put food on the table, and they end up being miserable. And again, that's like 90% of people that do that. And that's why, like I stated in other videos, people, when you see them in the workplace or around, they just kind of look like they're dead, like they gave up on life, they committed spiritual and mental suicide, because they just typically get out of college, 24, 5, you find your career, job, whatever you want to call it, and you just settle for life. You stop learning, you stop growing, you stop challenging yourself, and you start to get into the hamster wheel type of going through the motions, the rat race. And typically that's not how we're meant to live on this earth, at least that's my opinion. We're meant to flourish and get challenged and grow and learn together as a human unit. So again, that's just what I believe. So I would love to hear your guys' interpretation of that quote. And again, if you guys like these messages, if you like what I'm about, if you want to see the world come together in world peace and abolish hunger, famine, slavery, have more health and wealth together, go ahead and like these videos, comment below, share them with people who need to hear these messages. And yeah, that's it. So also, if you guys still need help with manifesting greatness and creating the right mindset to do so, I do have some resources for you guys in the description. Click on those descriptions. It will ask you for your email address just so you can get access to some benefits and discounts, and then let me know what you guys think. Alrighty, so Greg with Planet Green Zen, and I hope you guys do have a great day.